my kids to be able to have the same kind of luxuries and opportunities that I had when I was growing up.
It's our duty to leave it a little better.
It's the only issue that matters at all as a parent, which is climate change.
We want the Earth to be safe.
We want to save the planet, and we think climate change needs to be dealt with immediately.
The voices of those participating in the global climate strike, the marches we've seen around the world this month. We've seen so much of the activity focused on New York City, and that's where you're looking live right now. Not too far from there, of course, the United Nations, where Greta Thunberg and other young activists were so active last Friday, kicking off what has been a week of environmental action around the world. And today we're focused on Canada. But there are still people in New York delivering very strong messages. Among them, a young leader from Canada who is really, well, she's known as a water warrior, internationally known for the work that she has done and the issue of safe and clean water. Autumn Peltier, she's been on our network many times before, but here she is in New York with me. She is the Chief Water Counselor for Wekwemikong First Nation on Manitoulin Island. Autumn, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And first order of business, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. But the whole country gets to, with me, wish you happy birthday, your 15th birthday. So 15. How does the future look to Autumn Peltier at 15?
Well, every year that I get older from when I started doing this work kind of scares me because of the effects I'm seeing of climate change, how it's deteriorating every year. And it just makes me think, do I even have a future to look forward to?
So that's really interesting that you say that, because we're talking a lot about other young people like you feeling what we're actually calling climate anxiety. Very worried, very scared, very angry about their future. And you feel that too, do you?
Yeah, I feel it all the time.
And is that, can we interpret that's what keeps you doing what you're doing? Or is this a motivating factor for you?
Yeah, that's one of them, but my main motivating factor would probably is my Auntie Josephine.
Tell me a little bit more about her if the people watching haven't heard her story.
Well, my Auntie Josephine, 15 years ago, so basically when I was born, she created something called the water walk, which is when you walk around a body of water and you pray and you're raising awareness, but you're only thinking about that water and how we need to heal and protect it. And she was the creator of that, but she's one of my main mentors and role models. And ever since I was a little girl, she's been teaching me about the importance of water and how to become a woman. And she taught me how to become the woman I am today.
And you started that at 8 and now at 15. And you continue to bring the message about water to the world. You're in New York, and tomorrow you're going to be addressing at the United Nations the Global Landscapes Forum, the second time you've spoken at the UN at just 15. What's tomorrow's message?
Tomorrow, it's going to be the same stuff because we still have the same issues since last year, and this is a really important message, and my message will be coming from an Indigenous and traditional perspective, and yeah, I'm just going to be creating awareness about the water and the First Nations communities that don't have clean drinking water.
The fact that there are problems with the drinking water, is that really what you want to tell them? Because when you say, oh, I'll be saying the same stuff, I'm wondering what it is that we still don't get, what it is that we still don't realize about the water issue and the water crisis. Autumn, tell us that.
Well, it's why I say this, it's the same stuff is because it's really hard to change the minds of 7 billion people. And like in First Nations communities, there's a lot of First Nations communities like in Northern Ontario that don't have clean drinking water like whatsoever, and they've been on boil water advisories for over 20 years. And I personally couldn't imagine what it's like to be a child not knowing what it's like to drink from a tap or to drink clean water from, or like brush your teeth or like bathe in your own water from your house. But these children are growing up and they have to experience what it's like to get jugs of water like sent to their house once a week, or they have to either carry a huge barrel of water a kilometer from where they live and carry it back.
So these are the kinds of facts that you want people to know that we haven't yet learned or accepted. What do we need to do better? What do we need to change?
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to act more on it because it's crazy. It's honestly, no kid should have to live a life like that.
You're a little young still to vote, just 15 today, so a little time before that happens. But you'll know that here we are in Canada in the middle of a federal election campaign. And parties and leaders watch our program. So from New York, what is your message on water and the environment to those who make the decisions here in Canada?
Well, I would probably say to them that we need to pay a lot of attention to clean drinking water, as water is like, it's one of our main things we need as a human being, because our body is mostly water, and we literally cannot survive without water. We need it to drink, we need to cook, we need it to clean, and the animals need it. Everything needs it, and without water we would all die. So
we need to protect it. I'm wondering, you've been watching, we've seen these extraordinary scenes of millions of people, young people mainly, out in the streets this week for the climate strikes. I'm wondering whether you think anything has changed, though, concretely, April, at the end of this week, and whether the politicians are taking your demands and your messages any more seriously now, do you think?
Well, a lot of people are creating awareness and advocating and standing with all of the other advocates and activists, and I honestly think it's going to make a change because a lot more people helping out, and it's a lot more people coming together. And when it's more than one person, you can make a strong, you have a strong message when it's coming from more than one person.
You'll be delivering your message tomorrow. We'll be listening into that, and you'll see the message of your fellow young Canadians today across the country in these climate strikes. Thanks a lot, as always, for the time, Autumn. It's nice to see you back on the network.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Autumn Peltier in New York, ahead of her address to the United Nations tomorrow.